Matthew's message, September 17, 2016. With loving greetings from all souls at this station, this is Matthew. Let us begin by addressing the thoughts in many minds, and foremost is concern about North Korea's successful missile launchings. If that country does send a nuclear warhead into space, detonation will be prevented by universal family members who continuously patrol your skies. The same will be so if any other nation would make such an attempt. The ceasefire in Syria for humanitarian purposes is welcome, to be sure, but much more than this bandage is needed to relieve the plight of people in that war-torn country. Peace will come. However, the strong energy streamers of hostility and distrust emitted by opposing religious and secular groups will cause detours along the way. As for the energetic scenarios described in our last message about the presidential election in the United States, Hillary Clinton's withdrawing from the race for health reasons has an edge on the other possibilities that also would put Bernie Sanders in the White House. This doesn't mean that if the edge widens, the scenarios pertaining to Clinton's activities will evaporate. The energy of those streamers will run its course to bring that information to light. Thus the possibility remains that it will be her disqualification for the presidency that elevates Sanders to the office. The truth about 9/11 will be revealed, but not until after the Rockefeller faction of the Illuminati have lost all their influence in the government, economy, and mainstream media of the United States. That nation's finger pointing at Russia in a series of hacked emails and portraying Vladimir Putin as a meddler in U.S. political affairs and a dictator who wants to control the countries formerly within the USSR is political posturing and fodder for the media. Putin doesn't want a new Cold War era or conflicts with any country. He is one of the individuals in governments, military forces, and the corporate and economic sectors whose efforts behind closed doors are aimed at ending the Illuminati's long reign of global corruption, deception, assassination, initiating wars, and fostering impoverishment. Rising vibratory levels that also are helping to rid Earth of those plagues on humanity are playing havoc with people who don't understand what is transpiring. What you know is the evolution of a civilization and transformation of a world. Most are seeing as perpetual turmoil, divisiveness, and confusion, and the sense of time passing faster and faster is unsettling as well. For many, this means rushing through responsibilities, yet often days end before all tasks are accomplished, adding pressure to bodies and minds already stressed by the effects of high vibrations. A number of readers are writing about the challenges they are encountering in that respect, and, while awakening souls in particular are seeking guidance, light workers are not immune to the stress of adjusting to successively higher frequencies along Earth's ascension pathway. Rather than repeat stress reduction suggestions we have offered, I asked my mother to note the dates of messages so that anyone who would like to read that information in or as reminders can easily find it. July 4, 2013 has the most comprehensive coverage, and March 23, 2008, March 10, 2009, November 22, 2013, and March 20, 2016, offer additional insight into causes and relief of stress. Thank you, Mother. We want to emphasize that changing a negative thought to one that is positive is the fastest way to ease stressful feelings about any situation. Why don't vibrations affect everyone the same way? Actually, vibrations do affect everyone the same way in that they magnify all people's personal characteristics and behavioral tendencies. It is reactions to vibrations that vary greatly, and that is because each person is unique. You differ in a multitude of ways just physically, from size and age, to body chemistry and cellular structure. However, it is beliefs, experiences, relationships, and attitudes that most profoundly affect individuals' reactions. But speaking again about the entire populace and stating this most basically, responses to vibrations are in accordance with whether minds and hearts are open or closed. We digress a bit to say that vibratory levels differ immensely, but always the ingredient of vibrations is the love-light essence of Creator, the most powerful force in the cosmos. Although generally light is considered visual, and love a sensation, they are one and the same energy. And in a spiritual context, love, light and love light are synonymous. Now then, persons who are open to this energy can receive and send love along its spectrum of uplifting manifestations. Those who close out the energy cannot. It may seem that the opposite of love is hatred, but it isn't. The opposite is the absence of love. Fear also is the absence of love, and even though fear energy never can have the power that is inherent in love, it is strong enough to parent, so to say, ruthlessness, greed, violence, deceit, and lust for power and control. People who live in fear are in the dark insofar as spiritual and conscious awareness, and people who cause fear-filled circumstances are captives of the dark. That is why so often we urge you to send light to all of earth. Only when people see the light can their hearts and minds open to let love displace fear. We have been asked how to send light. Every person has the capacity to be a channel of universal energy, the all-powerful love light, and simply the desire, or intention, to send that energy to a person or a specific area or to all of earth automatically and instantly directs that energy to the intended recipient. If you wish to do this more formally, perhaps a prayer, meditation, or a visualization, of course that is fine, but not necessary. It is your feelings that count. And count they do. The collective feelings of people who want to live peacefully and in harmony with nature, with justness, dignity, and prosperity for all, is the energy force that is manifesting that kind of world. Are people in nirvana affected by different astrological signs the way we are? No. Etheric bodies and nirvana itself vibrate at frequencies that are not affected by planetary interaction in your solar system that can produce effects on dense bodies like yours. With the advent of autonomous robots, do they pose a threat to our future, and will artificial intelligence be used by the Illuminati to stop our ascension into fourth density and create massive unemployment and social unrest? When robots are commonly used by industries, the tedious assembly line jobs this technology replaces, and that is the only threat, will end, and depending on workers' ages, they can retire or prepare for jobs in other fields that will be much more satisfying and financially rewarding. That will not happen in the blink of an eye, but this valuable part of Earth's golden age is on the way. When society realizes the need for restorative recreation, which the new economic system will support, people will be much healthier, happier, more meaningfully active, and prosperous. Artificial intelligence also will be used for purposes that enrich life. And, the Illuminati never have had the ability to stop anyone's personal ascension to fourth density and beyond in spiritual and conscious awareness. Mother, there is no need to type the questions about twin souls, I will reply from your list. It's improbable that a soul contract would include the reuniting of twins. Each contract is an integral part of a pre-birth agreement intended to benefit all participants, and the twins might not be able to fill the roles that all others in the agreement need. Because twins are known only to each other, there is no unmistakable means of identification that apply to all twins. No, twins do not influence each other's soul contract choices or conscious decisions to any greater or lesser extent than any other soul prior to or after incarnating. Reuniting with a twin in a physical civilization doesn't assure karmic completion, and being twins isn't a step up in the evolutionary process. Yes, twins are more likely to recognize each other in a highly evolved civilization or its spirit world. It is more than possible, it is very likely that someone could be wrong about a particular person being their twin soul. As we stated in a prior message, twins are extremely rare. We add that preoccupation with wanting to know if you are a twin or to reunite with your twin can diminish the fulfillment of your contract choices for this lifetime. I am thinking about the shift in which many will die because their bodies will not tolerate the rising vibratory levels. What if they have young children? Will all children up to a certain age naturally rise with Earth? Is there a certain point where humans become responsible for this decision? Will family structuring evolve into new forms? When bodies abruptly lose viability due to rising vibratory levels, death will be attributed to heart failure, aneurysm, massive stroke, or perhaps the result of a fall or vehicle crash. Whatever the medical reason, young children learn to cope with grief and the loss of a parent. Down through the ages, countless souls have chosen this experience to achieve balance, and in this unprecedented era in the universe, pre-birth agreements take into account that children may lose one or both parents due to vibratory intolerance. If so, just as now, families will accept medical diagnosis. Heightening vibrations will provide heartwarming aspects, too. People will be enlightened about life in a spirit world and the certainty of reunions with beloved persons and pets. As telepathic connections open, there can be clear communication between souls on Earth and elsewhere in the universe. And, when your society is more highly evolved, residents on the planet and in Nirvana can visit back and forth. Naturally rising with Earth, or better said, personal ascension, is a matter of growing spiritually and consciously, and age is not a factor. For 30 years or more, a considerable number of newborns arrived in an evolved status. Every person has the choice, not the responsibility, to grow in the awareness that enables physically going along with Earth for the duration of the lifespan chosen in the soul contract. Personal ascension does not require traveling with the planet into higher densities. Souls evolved throughout the millennia when Earth was mired in deep third density. The grand advantage now is the opportunity to complete third density karma in one lifetime, aided by accelerating vibrations and often the loving assistance of stronger souls. Family structuring has been evolving for quite some time, and this deserves some thought in the context of ascension. There are biracial and interfaith marriages. In some areas, same-sex and transgender marriages. Youths are rebelling against arranged marriages. Divorced parents share custody of their children. Remarriage creates blended families. Some parents choose commitment over legal status. Surrogate mothers and in vitro fertilization are not unusual. Birth control enables married couples to choose not to have children. Children removed from abusive or neglectful parents live with other family members or in foster homes. Single persons are adopting children. People in one country are adopting children from another. 3 generations may live in the same home. Family members may live far distant from each other. Elderly parents may live in assisted living facilities. Some familial arrangements are due to progress in medical science, but the more profound evidence of change is the growing respect for all loving relationships and family configurations. Beloved brothers and sisters, as the vanguard of the spiritual and conscious evolution underway, simply by living your light, you exemplify enthusiasm and confidence in Earth's future. As your vibrations keep rising, you keep raising the vibrations of the world. Light beings throughout this universe honor you and surround you with unconditional love. Love and peace. Channeled by Suzanne Ward. www.matthewbooks.com